Welcome back. United States President Donald Trump's address to the UNGA, marking its 80th anniversary, has ignited a fierce debate with a bold America First stance. In a 40-minute speech marred by technical glitches like a stalled escalator and teleprompter issues, Trump blasted the UN as ineffective, touted U.S. economic and military wins, and also issued stark warnings on migration, climate policies and global conflicts. He called open borders an invasion, slammed renewable energy as a scam, and urged nations to buy American fossil fuels. Donald Trump also accused China and India of fueling Russia's war in Ukraine, demanded Gaza hostage releases, and warned Iran on nuclear ambitions. He also announced a US-led AI task force for global security. Reactions split sharply on his speech. Supporters praised him, while critics, including UN Chief Guterres, described the speech as divisive. As protests flared outside, Trump's words left the world stage tense. Let's in fact give you some more details now about the speech made by Donald Trump and in fact what he said to the global audience. These were some of the takeaways of what President Trump has said. America is in its golden age. He claimed the US has reversed economic calamity it had suffered under the previous administration. This is something that he claimed on the occasion. He also credited himself for ending the India-Pakistan conflict. Trump tried to take credit once again for ending a number of wars, including the India-Pak conflict. Meanwhile, tariffs on Russia slammed India and China. In fact, for the war as well. He warned that he was prepared to impose heavy tariffs on Russia if it refused to end the Ukraine war. That's the warning issued to Russia from the UNGA. He also slammed the UN. He said, these are the two things I got from the UN, a bad escalator and a bad teleprompter. Meanwhile, also another key statement made by the US president was against illegal immigration. He said the ridiculous open border policy of the Biden administration was removed, and I made sure the criminals who entered our country were sent back. Now let's tell you about what were the top 10 statements made by Donald Trump at the UNGA. China and India are the primary funders of the ongoing Ukraine war. This is what Trump said in context of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. He went on to say, if we can quickly go to the next slide, please. If Russia is not ready to make a deal to end the war, then the US is fully prepared to impose a very strong round of powerful tariffs. He also made the statement in context of that Russia-Ukraine conflict. Meanwhile, on the Israel and Hamas war, he said, as if to encourage continued conflict, some in this body are seeking to unilaterally recognize a Palestinian state. Another big statement being made by Trump, this time, of course, in context of the Gaza conflict. Meanwhile, also on the issue of the Israel-Hamas war, President Trump said, instead of giving in to Hamas's ransom demands, those who want peace should be united with one message: release the hostages now. Now, if we take you through his big statement on climate change. Well, Trump went ahead and said climate change is the greatest con job. Everybody is doing it because they want to be politically correct. So that's what the US president said in context of climate change. Now let's tell you about what he said on Europe. He said it's time to end the failed experiment of open borders. You have to end it now. That was his advice to Europe. Meanwhile, he also said, I look at London, where you have a terrible mayor and it's been changed. Now they want to go to Sharia law. He said this in context of the UK and the protests there. Meanwhile, going ahead and talking about Europe once again, President Trump said Europe is in serious trouble. They have been invaded by a force of illegal aliens like nobody's ever seen before. On the Nobel Peace Prize, President Trump said, in a period of just 7 months, I've ended 7 UN endable wars. No president or prime minister, no other country has ever done anything close to that. And on the issue of Venezuela, President Trump going ahead and making this statement, he said, to every terrorist thug smuggling poisonous drugs into the US. Please be warned, we will blow you out of existence. Another big assertion that President Trump made from the UNGA. So those, of course, were some of the big takeaways of his address there.